extracted. This is Agbogloshi, Accra, where technology stands to die. Smell what? Heating fires, TV casings, fridge interiors, a heat fierce enough to burn the insulation of the electrical cables.
So what are you looking for?
Salvaging valuable components to sell on the lucrative e-waste black market.
In recycling. So here are the details by the numbers. 5.3 billion mobile phones will be thrown away this year. Stacked up, that is 31,000 miles of phones, reaching 1/8 of the way to the moon. 27 million tons of small electronic equipment like electric toothbrushes, toasters, cameras will be tossed this year, but only about 17% of it will be recycled, according to the International Electric Waste Recycling experts. Based on current trends, the group predicts more than 81 million tons of electric waste from tablet, computers to washing machines will be thrown away by 2030. And at issue, many of the chemicals and metals that make our gadgets work are highly toxic. It's estimated that 55 tons of mercury have already seeped from electronics dumped into landfills into the soil and groundwater.
Connected, yet polluted. In a world where communication never stops, our devices connect us. In our pursuit of connection, voice travels faster than ever. Our cities rise higher and our machines grow louder. Nowadays, we speak to screens more than to faces. As a result, silence feels strange, and being offline feels lonely. We speak faster, we reach further, and share everything through screen. Every photo, every post, every upgrade carries a hidden consequence.
Have you ever think what happened when our devices stop working? Like this. When we are done with it, we throw it away. But where is away?
This is the story of e-waste, where our voices reach far away, but the planet's cries still unheard. So let's take a step back and really think, how does our way of communicating every day connect to something as serious as environmental pollution? To understand that, we need to look at two things: communication issues and the rise of e-waste. According to recent statistics, as of early 2025, 91% of the global pollution owns a mobile phone, compared to 88% in 2024, which shows a drastic gap. Next, in 2025, mobile devices have evidently dominated online activities, driven by convenience, app-based ecosystem, and enhanced mobile connectivity. Current statistics reveal over 63% of global web traffic now originates from mobile devices, nearly twice as much as a decade ago. That means while our technologies grows better, our planet gets buried under our old devices. Why it matters? Because behind all of this development, there is a hidden cost: the growing mountain of e-waste.
The faster technology moves, the faster we replace our devices, and the less we think about where they go when we throw them away. So, this isn't just about convenience anymore. It is also about how communication and consumer behavior contribute to environmental issues. When we talk about e-waste, it is not only about old smartphone. It also includes laptops, tablet, cameras, headphone, and even small components like memory card or batteries. All these devices help us communicate, but when they are disposed of carelessly, the materials inside like lead, mercury, and plastic harm both people and environment. So, what started as a simple upgrade can easily turn into a global waste problem. Today, our society has created a new kind of stigma. If it's not upgraded, it is outdated. People now feel pressured to always have the newest phone, the latest camera, or the trendiest gadget. Social media and advertising make us believe that being updated equals being successful or stylish. And behind all of this mindset, communication becomes more about status than real connection. Now, let's go deeper into the communication challenges. Most people still don't fully understand what e-waste really means. Message about e-waste, like how to dispose of it properly or where to find recycling centers, are often too technical or formal, making it difficult for the public to relate to. Government or NGO campaigns also tend to be inconsistent because they often launch programs only once or twice a year. It is not enough to create lasting awareness. As a result, many people still don't know where to send their devices or how to recycle safely. For instance, through information of the website of DOE, which is Department of Environment Malaysia, many citizens are unaware they even exist. Besides, the information they stated in the website is also unclear, which could lead to misunderstanding. Moving on, another major challenge is lack of digital literacy, meaning that people don't always have the skill to check or verify what they read online. For example, if you search eco-friendly smartphones, you will find articles and ads claiming that the iPhone 15 Pro is environmentally friendly, highlighting recycled materials and reduced packaging. But on the other side, you will see another website that says buyers complaining that the devices peels easily. The iPhone 15 Pro doesn't last long, and there is also comments where it stated that it isn't durable as advertised. So, which message should the public believe? This confusion happens because most consumers cannot differentiate between genuine environmental effort and marketing hype. Many people tend to trust what looked professional or what repeated the most, instead of checking credible environmental sources. As a result, people may think they are making an eco-friendly purchase when, in fact, the product still contributes to short device lifespan and more e-waste when we start to buy new phones, new gadgets, just to replace them. The next communication challenge that affects public awareness of environmental issue is manipulation through influencer culture. In today's environment, especially digital environment, social media influencers hold significant power in shaping consumer behavior and public opinion. They frequently showcase the latest gadgets in unboxing videos, reviews, or their lifestyle content, creating excitement and curiosity among their viewers. However, most influencers focus on promoting consumption rather than raising awareness about sustainability. Very few of online figure that mentions the environmental consequences of constantly buying and replacing electronic devices. This type of communication manipulates public perception. It indirectly tells audience to stay relevant or up to date. They must own the newest version of a product. So, over time, this builds what we call an upgrade culture, where replacing devices becomes more normalized, even when the existing ones still work perfectly. Finally, technology companies are masters of persuasive communication. They use emotional and psychological marketing, which skillfully influence how consumers think about innovation, speed, and performance. Therefore, they focus on making the old model seem worthless. For instance, this is the example of effective persuasive advertisement. This form of communication creates psychological pressure too. They encourage people to think that their current devices are no longer good enough, even if they function perfectly well. In summary, companies' over-marketing strategies are a form of communication challenges that only prioritize sales over sustainability. They effectively capture attentions but fail to encourage long-term awareness about environmental responsibility, reinforcing the throwaway mindset that contributes to harm the planet. Overall, we can see how communication issues lead to bigger environmental problems. When human keeps on using persuasive or misleading marketing, it creates a strong demand for new devices. That demand then leads to frequent device replacement. Then, as a result, more gadgets are discarded, and this causes an increase in electronic pollution, or we call as e-waste. In short, poor communication doesn't just affect how we think, it also affects the environment. Before we dive deeper into the topic, let's ask some questions to the people of our society. How many digital devices do you have?
Well, I have 3 devices: laptop, tab, and my phone.
My iPhone? Yeah, 5 devices. Not 5 devices.
For now, I have 6.
I think 3.
How many digital devices do you have?
iPad, laptop, and phone. I have 3 digital devices.
How many digital devices do you have?
I have 3.
From this short survey, 4 out of 6 respondents said they own 3 devices. Typically, they only refer to their smartphone, laptop, and tablets. Most of them did not include smaller electronic items such as earphones, chargers, or other accessories that are also part of the digital ecosystem. This shows that even though people are surrounded by multiple devices daily, many are not fully aware of what count as electronic devices. This lack of understanding is one of the communication gap that contributes to the e-waste problem. Where poor communication meets global neglect, Agbogbloshie, Ghana has become one of the world's largest e-waste dumping grounds. Every year, tons of discarded devices from richer nations are shipped here under the label of used electronics. This slide shows why Ghana, and specifically Agbogbloshie, has become a global destination for electronic waste. Today, Agbogbloshie is no longer known for trade or culture. It has become one of the most largest electronic waste dump sites on earth. This is the hidden cost of our digital age. The convenience we enjoy every day comes at the expense of others who live and breathe in toxic conditions. Many electronic devices from developed countries are exported to Ghana under the label of being refurbished. In reality, most of these devices are already non-functional or beyond repair. Once they arrive, they quickly become waste, adding to the massive piles in places like Agbogbloshie. For developed nations, it's far cheaper to export e-waste than to process it domestically. The recycling process is expensive and heavily regulated. They decided, instead of processing it, e-waste is shipped off to the countries to the global south, where Ghana become one of the most unfortunate hubs that bear the burden. Other main reason to be is that in Ghana, e-waste recycling happens mostly in the informal sector, where it is unregulated, unsafe, and often involving children and youth. These individuals burn plastic and circuit boards to recover tiny amounts of copper or aluminium. While it provides a livelihood, it exposes them to deadly fumes and long terms of health risks. Yet, for many, it is the only source of survival. After learning about the challenges in communications, from poor awareness to misinformation, influencer manipulation, and even global neglect, now let's shift to our focus. The question is, how can we communicate better? If the message is unclear, people will ignore it. The first key to effective communication is inclusivity. Too often, messages about e-waste or environmental awareness are written in technical or academic language. Terms like toxic leaching or carbon emission reduction don't always connect with ordinary people. Infographic, shorts videos, and animations in local languages can make complex information easier to digest. And most importantly, messages should focus on daily life, because when people see how it affects them personally, they begin to care. Long-term awareness begins in classroom. Integrating environmental and digital responsibility into education, especially in teacher training, is one of the most effective communication strategies. When teachers understand sustainability, they don't just share information, they pass on values. Environmental topics can be included across different subjects, such as ICT or even science. Students can create their own mini-campaign, videos, or posters about e-waste. In this way, awareness becomes part of lifelong learning, not just one-time topic discussed on Earth Day. Next, campaigns need to move beyond poster and one-time event. Communication should be continuous, interactive, and engaging. The next strategy is to transform influencer culture into a force for good. Earlier, we discussed how influencers can encourage overconsumption, constantly promoting new gadgets, creating pressure to upgrade. But imagine if we use the same power in a positive way. Influencers could become the bridge between information and action. They can challenge the culture of waste by showing their audiences how to extend the lifespan of devices. Simple online movement like hashtags, Fix Not Now, or Second Life devices can make sustainability trendy, relatable, and shareable. Last but not least, we could also use methods like emotional storytelling and real impact visual. Facts can inform, but stories inspire. One of the most powerful tools in communication is storytelling. This is why ethical campaigns should always include visual, testimonies, and local stories, because every piece of e-waste has a human story behind it. To carry out ethical environmental campaigns successfully, we need to remember three important principles: clarity, consistency, and connection. Clarity means using simple, direct messages that everyone can understand. Consistency means not limiting campaigns to 1 month or one event, but a constant continuing the message throughout the year. And connection means making sure people see how the issue affects their daily life, whether it is the air they breathe, the gadget they use, or the waste they produce. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reach to the end of this presentation, let's take a moment to reflect on what we have learned today. We begin with the rapid growth of digital devices, tools that connected us, teach us, and entertain us. Yet, behind every upgrades and every new models lies a silent consequences, which is, based on this topic, electronic waste. When people are unaware, misinformed, or easily influenced, even the best environmental message fails to reach their purpose. Our situation shows what happens when communication, policy, and responsibility breaks down at very low level. But the solution begins with something simple: education and lifelong learning. As future teachers, we are not responsible for sharing knowledge inside the classroom. We are messengers of awareness. So, through continuous learning, we can develop the skills to communicate environmental ethics effectively, to turn technical message into something human, something that touches the heart. Lifelong learning empowers us to question what we see online, to guide our students toward responsible digital habits, and to connect local action with global consequences. When teachers themselves continue to learn, reflect, and grow, our passion naturally shapes a generation that values sustainability, empathy, and awareness. So, in the end, it is not only about e-waste or digital devices. It is about learning that never stops. Because every learner today is a future decision makers for tomorrow. And as educators, our passion to keep learning become the spark that drives a more ethical, environmentally conscious, and educated society.
I speak for my earth.
我为地球发声。
I speak for my earth.
I speak for my earth.
난 얘네들 보니까가 뺏기게.
我为地球发声。